and I am back with another Mixed Media Mayhem. This is the layout that we will be attempting to recreate today. So what I have picked out is a couple pieces. This one here is a stamp from Stamperia. I bought it from a cherry on top, and I plan on using my Dirty Ink pad by Altenew in Obsidian ink. It is a permanent ink, which I absolutely love using on slick surfaces. I'm also going to use my Black Soot Oxide ink with my blender brush. I have my title, which is this very teeny tiny little label by Simple Stories. I think it was The Great Escape or something. Anyways, I have a black Posca pen, which is 3M, so it is a pretty thick bullet tip. Then I have some surprise pieces that will be released in April. These are my mock-up pieces that I usually cut. That's why they're kind of a different color and a little bit flimsy. But I love cutting out the mock-up pieces to make sure that they actually work before I cut pieces for the store. Then I have some sprays. This is Morning Gold by the Glimmer Mist. I don't know, is it Tattered Angels? And then I have some Distress Mica spray in Tarnished Brass, I believe is what it's called, by Tim Holtz. And then 3 photos that were not taken at the exact same time of our Jimmy that we have. I believe it's an 87 Jimmy. It's my husband's favorite little go out in the hills and mess around and get muddy kind of tour, kind of car. And then I have some just off sprays that I have in this background that I created during a Facebook Live within my Mixed Media Facebook group. Now, I did this Facebook group during the summer of last year, and so I don't really remember, but I do know that this can be found in Guide 9, but I don't know what day it was. And there's 5 days in Guide 9. So anyways, if you guys are interested in going to find out how I made this, go ahead and watch that. But I plan on using a little bit more pieces to personalize it for this page. So the first thing I'm going to do is roughly stamp the Stamperia stamp along the diagonal that's already there. Then I was going to take my blender brush and use to distress the edge, but then I thought that it might be too much of a distress. So I just went with this distress blender tool. I don't even know what the real name of it's called. I have no idea. Then I'm going to take my Posca pen and draw some lines going around, but my ink is a little bit wet still. One of the things about that pigment ink is that it stays a little bit wet longer. You can also use it as an embossing ink if you work quickly. All right, last thing I'm going to do is spray with my Tattered Angels and mica spray, so that way I can color in these pieces. Now, they don't take color quite as well as my wood pieces. Like I said, they're just mock-up pieces, so they are a little on the thin side. In fact, I think one of them breaks during the video. That's okay, because I'm just playing around, you guys. It's something that I don't like to waste, especially when they turn out pretty good. I do end up using my mock-up pieces for myself. Sometimes they end up in the misfit bin, and then I use the real pieces on my layouts. Anyways, I went ahead and I took this off spray cardstock that just had some black with gold in it, and I'm using it as my photo mat. And then I scuffed up the edges, so I made my photo mats a little on the larger side, scuffed up the edges, and then I arranged the photos how I wanted them on my layout, which I actually intended them to go up and down, kind of like how Rebecca has on her layout, because she's got a title that goes up and down, and then her mixed media goes in a diagonal. And I kind of wanted I keep saying the word kind of, I apologize. But I wanted my photos to represent her center photo plus the words on the top and the bottom of the photo. It didn't end up like that. I ended up clustering them together in a circle rather than up and down. So, and I also cut one of them a little bit smaller than I expected it to. I was going to try to keep it like at a 4x6 as well, but I cut it down to a 3x4. So things didn't happen exactly, and I just went with it. I just pretended like, oh, well, I didn't mean to do that, but yes, I did, and here it is. Me pretending like I know what I'm doing. Now I'm also going to try to cover up that big old square in the center because I have no idea what I was thinking, normally this would have been like a single photo layout. You put your photo in the center of the blackness instead of putting a matte on it, or put a white matte on it and then put it in the center of the blackness. But I didn't have any intention of doing that. So now I'm covering it up with all my photos, and now you can't even tell that it is even there. I still have my diagonal design, and then of course I have a larger photo cluster rather than the photo with clusters of embellishments. But I did want to put my embellishments on the side of the layout or of the photos, just like Rebecca did. And then my title, she's got alpha stickers on the top and the bottom of her photo, and I just planned on using the one little label sticker that I had at the bottom of the photo. So I did kind of simplify this layout slightly, but I did also use a pre-done layout instead of showing you guys how I made my mixed media layout. But if you guys are curious as to see how I created it, it is done live, so in slow motion, over on my Facebook group. I will try to link down which guide it is in, but don't quote me on that. I will probably end up just putting down the Facebook group because I'm not sure exactly where in the live I made this particular layout. So anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I know that it was a super uber quick one. I also know that I used some paper. I'm going to have to say that it was Vicky Booten Creative FX and some water to spread it out. And then I turned around and used what looks like, what is that packaging called? The pop dot packaging. I don't know, you guys. Oh my gosh. I'm not really sure exactly. And then I used some black paint watered down as my sprays. So that is what how I made my background. But if you want to see it made, I will try to remember to put it down in the comments and description below. All right, be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along with Mixed Media Mayhem and all of their layouts. Go check them out. I'm ecstatic to see what they did with this layout as well. All their links will be down below in the description box, and I will check y'all later. Thanks.